Hello, everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown. And there's been this massive news splash concerning Dawn Robinson, who used to be a member of En Vogue. If you remember this group, I think they were fantastic. Uh, Incredible voice, absolutely incredible voice. But over time, the group broke up, and Dawn Robinson kind of sort of disappeared. And apparently, she says in 2020 she did like lots of interviews, and I don't remember that, but I guess she did. But this is where things changed in her life. At least this is the part she's starting at. This is where she went to live with her parents in Las Vegas in 2020. However, that's not what the big story is. The big story is how, and she's got this channel. She's got this channel here, the official Dawn Robinson channel. And she started that, well, let's see, she only has like 18 videos. And this is a year ago. So we're talking in 2024. She's had this channel where she was kind of doing positive thinking things like, how to get on in life and, stuff to help people deal with things. And she got a few thousand views here, on each one of these. Didn't obviously make a lot of money on it. She, at that point, I guess she had about, I think she had about 7,000 subscribers. So not a moneymaker. And she did a few of these videos and then she stopped and disappeared. And all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, she came out with this new video. Let me see, it's right here on the left. Your new life is the scary. And she confesses she's been living in her car for the last 3 years. She's like, oh, no, it's out. I'm telling everybody the truth. I've been living in my car for 3 years. And all the media channels, it's everywhere. And she's got 200,000 views on this one video, and she's got already 5,000 new subscribers in a couple days. So she's gotten attention. And she says it's not a publicity stunt. She's trying to help people. That's why she's doing this, and letting people know what's going on in her life. And she says, I'm always honest. And I'm going to say right there, she's totally dishonest. And I'm going to go into this now. I'm not trying to trash her in the sense that I, don't want her to do well in life. I hope she gets on her feet. And I think because there's 200,000 views and the channel might help her earn a living now and get her on her feet. But what she says in the video is fascinating to me as a profiler, because she is promoting herself as a person who's helping you be real, helping you face reality, helping you move ahead in life with a positive thinking, but knowing who you are and accepting who you are. And most of what she says in the video about herself is not accurate, not true. And I can tell very quickly by what she's not telling. And it's fascinating. So I want to bring that to you because, because the response to her and what she's saying is, it's like people are like, oh my God, it's so fantastic. Help her out. Why don't we start a GoFundMe? Oh, you don't deserve to have to live in your car for 3 years. You don't deserve that. Oh, you're one. And so people are going nuts and being very supportive, but it's because they're not being told the truth. And that bothers me. I've never been fond of people being dishonest. And she says she is, but she is not. She says she's honest, but she's not. So what happened? What do I see here? All right, let's go to 2020. She does a whole flurry of interviews, supposedly. And then she goes and lives with her parents, takes her dog in 2020. 2 years later, well, she says it's like this. It was great until it wasn't. And she says it became a problem because her mother became a very angry person and focused all her anger on her daughter. And she was very hurt by this, and she couldn't take it. And it was just so sad. And she wants to respect her mom. So, I'm like, no, you just threw your mother under the bus. Basically, you said, the reason I left my parents' house is because my mother treated me horribly. And your mother, she's now 58. And by the way, everybody says how great she looks. And she does look really good in the videos, but there are things called filters, which is why I don't look quite as bad as I would if I didn't have a filter. So I don't know what she really looks like. She does look good, but I don't know if that's true either. But her mother, she's 58. So I don't know how old her mother is, but let's just add 20 years to it. Mother's like 78 years old. Your mother is aging. And this is the last time you're going to have this time with your mother. You just threw your mother on the bus and said she had issues and was an angry person. And she admits she hasn't spoken to her mother since she left, nor her. As apparently her whole family, or not talking to her sister. I don't know about the dad, but apparently she's just distanced herself from her whole family because she says that it's healthier for her. Your parents are aging. And you won't have anything to do with your family. It's their fault. And this is the key thing we're going to see here. She's blaming her mother for why she had to go and live in her van for the first time. She said after it went bad at her parents' house, she went and lived in her I don't know, van vehicle. I don't know quite what she had, her car. She went and lived in her car for a month in Las Vegas. Okay, stop right here and think about this. You've been living in your mother's house for 2 years with your dog. And when you left your mother's house because it wasn't working out, you had zero money to go live someplace else. What were you doing for those 2 years? You had, I'm guessing, a free place to stay. Weren't you saving up money did you work while you were there? Did you save up money? You are a celebrity. You may not be getting the job you want, but since you have such a great voice, I would assume you could get some work in singing or something. But time has gone by, 2 years, and you haven't got a penny, so you're living in a car. Now, you may have a few pennies, but not enough to even rent a room. That's not, that tells me that you have a problem. And it also tells me that if your mother, you left, or did your mother kick you out? Did your mother finally say, "I've had enough. You're not working. I don't know what else is going on. I don't know if she wasn't behaving right, whether it was drug problems, then she has the dog they have to deal with. I don't know what the issues were, but we don't really know whether she left on her own because her mother was mean to her, or her mother said enough is enough, or her dad said enough is enough. But she's on the street now in Las Vegas in her car for a month. Then she claims that her manager said, you don't have to live in the car. You can come out to California and live with me. So she says, so I drive out to California and I get there and it doesn't work out. Immediately doesn't work out. He's got a dog. I've got a dog, but I can't, and there's not enough room for me. Okay, something's not fish. That's fishy too. Okay, the guy invites you. You claim the guy invites you to stay with him. He would know if there's a second room in his house that you and the dog can stay in. He would know if you're bringing the dog if you told him. So something else went wrong. When you arrived, something went wrong. Whose fault was that? In her way of saying it, it was his fault. First, it's her mother's fault. Now it's her manager's fault. But this manager is such a bad guy. He puts her up in a hotel that he pays $3,000 a month on. That's her claim. $3,000 a month. Supposedly, she says his own place only costs $1,500. He's putting her up for $3,000 a month? What the heck? And then she says she was there for 8 months. But she blames the manager. She blames him. She says it's his fault. She was there for 8 months. You know why she says that? She says, I went to look for an apartment and I find these apartments and they're a reasonable price. And I tell him about it and he would never go forward with it. He just pay the hotel cost again and he wouldn't help me get the apartment. Okay. You are in a hotel for 8 months. What the heck are you doing there? Are you not working? And if he's paying you for the hotel and you don't have to pay your rent, I would think the money you save, you can get your own apartment and get your own, But she claims that didn't happen because it was his fault. He wouldn't put the down payment on an apartment. So she says, after 8 months, I felt bad. Yeah, you think? $24,000? What? So then you decided it wasn't working out for you. And therefore, you decided you were going to take a lifestyle change. You investigated what it would be like to live in your car. And you decided for your own mental health, you would go live in your car. No. Because again, if you've been there for 8 months, why aren't you working and why have you no money to go anyplace? So that's why you're living in your car because, and this is the most important part. I say this about homelessness quite often. Now, before you all jump in and say, that's not true. I was homeless because, and then there'll be a whole bunch of comments below about how I was innocently homeless. Now, are there people who are what I would call innocently homeless? Yes, it can be because of horrific circumstances in life. Anybody can be rendered homeless in some kind of tragic circumstance. However, what I have seen quite often, let me put that group aside, a lot of people who claim they're innocently homeless will say none of their relatives would take them in. None of their friends would take them in. Why not? Well, I'll tell you why not. Because she went and stayed with her parents, and whatever happened there, she didn't earn any money. She didn't work. She probably didn't. I don't know what she was doing there. I don't know if she was breaking the rules. I think she got thrown out because I just don't believe she walked out to go live in her car. I believe she overstayed her welcome because she wasn't doing her part. And they gave up on her and said, we're done. Then her manager, who supposedly paid this ridiculous hotel fee, I don't know if any of that's true. But I'm going to say, for whatever reasons, when she went to supposedly live with him, it didn't work out with him either because she was the problem. When a person can't find a place to stay, especially in an emergency situation, for example, I know that if I became homeless tomorrow, my sister would take me in. No question about it. My other sister died recently, but she would have taken me in as well. When my parents were alive, they would have taken me in. I even have some friends who would be kind enough to take me in. Now, once I got in, by the way, they would expect me to then step up to the plate. It's like, I'm happy to have you here because you're in a dire situation, but you've got to get on your feet. They would expect me to be looking for work every day. They'd be expecting me to find that work, do that work, save that money. And for staying in their house, they would expect me to obey all their rules, not do drugs, not bring home guys from a bar, not trash their house. They would expect me to obey all their rules. And that way, things would go well. So when a person says, no one will take me in, either everybody you know is dead, or dire circumstances, or it's you. They're done. You've worn out your welcome in every place that you could possibly ask for help. And people are like, go live under the bridge. I'm done with you. She ends up in a car twice. First time because she can't take it. Second time because she wants to experience car life. No, I don't buy it. And I think she's not being honest. I think she refuses to accept her own role in her circumstances. And she's telling you a story that makes her, in her mind, look good. It didn't make her look good to me because I'm reading between the lines saying, what you're saying doesn't make sense. I don't buy it. But a lot of people are buying it. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the story she's telling is not true. Now, I do think she's realized after being in the car for 3 years, and again, let's even look at the 3 years in a car. So now after she wore out her welcome at her mom's house and this other fella, 3 years in a car, you still don't have enough money to get an apartment? You are a celebrity. You don't look bad. So what is preventing you from getting on your feet after 3 whole years? And all I can see now at this point is she's going for YouTube. She wants to be a YouTuber. She feels like, well, I tried being a YouTuber, but nobody, I didn't get enough hits. So why don't I just admit I'm in a car and I'll go, it's like, you, if I can say that, then you can feel good about yourself. If a celebrity can admit she's in a car, then you can realize that your life isn't so bad and that you're not doing so badly and you don't have to be so hard on yourself, which is a good message. So, and she knows it would get attention because nothing else got her attention. But man, this is blown up. And so what will she do now? I don't know what her big plan is. Oh, I think she's writing a book. Yeah, you got to get publicity. And I suppose her book will be about her life and about how, all kinds of things. Might be very interesting, might be a good book. I don't believe it'll be truthful because I don't think she actually is that honest. So I just found it a fascinating video because I saw everybody just jumping on board and thinking that everybody's been really mean to her. She has just suffered because of everybody else. And that is not true. And a lot of times, if you take a look at your own life, when you see there's problems, a lot of times it's because you created them. So, face yourself. Look in that mirror without filters and face yourself and realize that, well, maybe the reason is because of me. And Dawn, I hope you eventually can face the truth about yourself, which you're not doing in this video. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this as a profiler. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. And I do wish her well. I do. I just wish she'd tell the truth. Bye-bye.